Hi friends, I'm gonna paint a barn painting and I will turn it into a traceable that you can download for $1. So if you wanna follow along, I think I'm gonna use quite a bit of palette knife techniques on this one. I probably will use some brush too. I've been in a palette knife painting mood lately. The rooster back behind my shoulder there is a palette knife painting. I've got another rooster palette knife painting, some lemons, pineapple. Oh, the pineapple's pretty yummy looking. You should check that one out. And a cactus. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I've got my traceable transferred onto my canvas. This is a 12 by 16 inch canvas. I love I don't know what they call it. It's a gallery wrap canvas, but I don't know what they call it when they tuck it. But I just love it. I first sprayed the back with water to tighten it up and then dried it with a hairdryer. And then I used my traceable that I'll put on my website to transfer the barn painting. I found the image on Unsplash, UNSPLASH. And I'm pretty much sticking to the barn and those aren't hay bales when they're round. Are they hay bales when they're still round? To that part of the image, but I'm changing the background. And I think I want to do a light color, an overall light painting. Not a lot of dark, not a lot of strong color. We'll see how it works as we go along here. And then one tip, as I'm trying to figure out where to put my paper towels here, you want to get this line pretty straight with the edge of the canvas. So you can see there it's pretty straight with my little T-square there. And then, I keep saying, and then I'm using phthalo blue green shade. So I put 2 blobs out about that size, and then I put a little bit bigger blob of neutral gray 5 and mixed it together. And then I'm gonna take some titanium white. So typically a sky is darker, like if you go out for a walk and you look up, the sky is darker, or you can't see my hand, the sky is darker up at the top, and it gets lighter and grayer as you have more atmosphere and come down towards the horizon line. But if you've got a reference photo with a different kind of sky in it, by all means you can paint that. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it, so I think I'm gonna use a brush to put the sky in, and I might even use a brush to put parts of the barn in, and then I'll come back and palette knife paint it. If you guys watched any of my other videos, you know I change my mind as I go. Oh, I don't know if you can hear my cat. She's out there complaining. She wants to be let back in. I'm just gonna wash my knife off here. I'm gonna let the paint to dry out. Off to my right, which is off camera, I've got a big jar of water and some paper towels. Okay. I think we're just gonna use, I don't know what size filbert. This is a really old brush. It's a filbert. Really a long handle would be better since I'm sitting back. I like that it wasn't too big and not too small, so it won't take me too long. You know what? I might need to mix a little more of this color. So if you don't mind, so I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. And what I was starting to say is, if you don't mind, tell me where you're from. And Omaha's, I suppose the city itself is 500,000 people, but then there's suburbs and nearby communities, so it's a pretty big city. But just, you just go 15 minutes outside of Omaha and there's barns and farms and cornfields, and so that's why I paint quite a few of those things. Plus they sell well. If you're looking to sell your art, they're pretty popular, I think, across the board, across the United States. All right, let's get my brush wet here. And get a little paint on. See, this is kind of a nice, I don't know if you can see, I've got too much water. It's kind of just a nice blue. Am I in the way? Oh, it's way up there. a nice blue-gray color. And I'm pretty much gonna go, see, that almost looks like clouds, doesn't it? Horizontal strokes. And I'm gonna stop my video so I can paint up here, up at the very top, and let my cat in. I'll be back in a little while, guys. Oh, take a look at my cute ladybug earrings. A friend of mine made them. Aren't those fun? Okay, be right back. Thought I'd pop in and show you what I'm doing. So I've got a smaller angle brush so I can get in here. And then I also pick up the canvas and paint in my lap, which makes it easier for me. You have to do what's easier for you. And then my blue is drying darker than I like, or I think I want, but then that happens to me if you should go watch the lemon palette knife painting. I got ahead of myself on how dark or light I wanted the background, and ended up changing the background a couple times. So I may wait, but I think I'm gonna come over it with a palette knife. Especially if I do more palette knife on the barn just to tie it in. And then I always paint around the sides of my painting. All right, I just wanted to pop in and let you know you don't have to stick with one brush. Just use what's comfortable, what's working. If it's not working, switch it up. Don't feel like you have to stick with what I do or what you think you should do. I'm almost wondering if I want the sky a little grayer. And then I probably should have lightened my dark purple lines here. As you can see a little bit ago there, I picked up part of the purple. Okay guys, I'll be back in a little bit. I think what I'm gonna do with this video is have the beginning of me talking real-time painting and then do a time lapse. Because then I can show more of the painting and still upload it to YouTube. I wanted to pop in and show you. So I had that bigger brush, and then as it was still kind of wet, I took some straight up white, and then I have hints of clouds in there. And you know what? I may not palette knife the clouds or the sky or the background. We'll just have to see how this painting goes. And then I put a little neutral gray 5 on my palette and mixed it with my already muted down phthalo blue green shade and neutral gray 5 combination that I then lightened with white. And then I took that and made it grayer. And then I was using that big brush, but it was getting a little too big. I want smaller, sweepier motions. So I'm gonna lighten now my grayer puddle. It's gonna be light enough or dark enough, but we'll figure it out. Oh, that's darker than I want. So let's grab some white. It's also easier with the angle brush to get in there next to the barn. This is kind of pretty dry already. So you can just kind of blend it in. I want to get grayer as I go down. Grayer and lighter. And then I think I'm going to do the hills in the same colors. I think this line right here is the base of the hill. This will be some field or dirt color or something. So I'm going to put that in there so I don't forget. And I'm just kind of dry brushing it up to help fade it out, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it just yet. Now I've added a little white. tube. I just wanted to pop in and let you know what I was doing. I don't know if there's anything else I need to tell you. You can certainly leave your background brushed. This is your painting. You can do whatever colors you want. You can do a lighter sky, a darker sky. Use whatever blue you have. I just tell you in case you want to know. Okay, I think I'll pop in once I get the hills done. When I look at it in person, I think that sky is too dark. When I look at it in the camera, it doesn't look too dark at all. Plus, I think I better listen to myself and get the barn in. We can always lighten up the sky later. Hey, I just wanted to show you my palette. So that's neutral gray 5. And then I mixed it with just a little bit of blue and then pulled it out for some lighter colors. And look how gray that looks when it gets to the edge of my palette. And it looks quite gray next to the blue gray. So it's really interesting how the colors change depending on what you put them next to. I'm gonna get another palette. I'm gonna save this one because I've got quite a bit of color on it. And I may go back and palette knife that sky. And definitely will put some palette knife details here in the hills. But I think I'm gonna brush. I think I'm gonna underpaint everything with a brush. So I'm gonna go get another palette set up. And then I'll show you that, and I think from that point on we'll go to time-lapse. Now I'm going to work on the barn. So this is red oxide right here. And then I mixed just a pinch of phthalo blue green shade into a dollop of red oxide, and it made a really nice brown. I was actually hoping it'd be a reddish brown. Let's see what it looks like here. I think it is a little bit reddish brown. Good. Because I'm going to use that for the cool side of the barn. And then I mix some Cad Red Light with a dollop of red oxide, and then I've got sort of a warmer, let's see if you can see, a little bit warmer. I could use just the red oxide, but I thought, well, I want it just a little redder. I don't know if you can see that. And then I'm gonna start painting the barn. So my focal point is about, I think right here, because that's gonna be my darkest spot where it goes into the barn. And then it's also at about 1/3. So if you come down a third and then come down another third, and it's also, I got paint on my brush here, it's about 1/3 over from there. So I think that's my focal point. So I want my lightest lights and darkest darks right in there. So I'm gonna put a little white. Oh, and actually, I should go this direction. I'm not gonna put in every barn board, but we're gonna indicate them. So we better brush stroke in the same direction of the barn boards. Now it's okay to go like to cut the edge around the window and then just pull it out. But I'm thinking, I don't know, I'll figure out. So my last couple palette knife paintings, I pretty much just palette knifed. But I'm thinking this will go quicker if I underbrush it and just put in some values. Of course, I tend to get hung up in the details, which is fun for me. But then it's like I didn't need to do all the underpainting, all this extra thinking that I do. Oops, I got too much white. I probably mixed up way too much color there. So when you mix the color, what I should have done is put a pile of Cad Red Light and a little bit of red oxide in it and mix it. But I did it backwards. I put the darker color first. You pretty much mix from the lighter color so you don't end up with a huge puddle on your palette. And waste paint. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, but you know, if you want to be conscious and not waste paint, or careful and not waste paint, then mix from the light color to the dark color. So like I had the red oxide and I put just a pinch of the blue in there because I knew the blue was really strong. So I did it right one time. Then I forgot. All right, I think I'll pop in after I get the barn painted. up finishing this painting kind of quick. That happens to me quite a bit. I think I have a lot more to do, and then when I add the highlights on, I realized I probably should stop because you can overpaint. Any of you who paint know that you can also overpaint a painting. I was picturing the sky a little lighter, but I'm just not sure. I don't know, I think I should leave it alone. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna call this Hey There. So there's hay bales. So I'm gonna call it H-A-Y there, instead of like hi there, you know, hey there. Let me know what you think. So, oh, and another thing, I was going to, so I palette knife, you can see the texture here. This is pretty much all brush, but I like it because it looks like a metal roof. My reference photo, it almost looks like it's shingled, but I like the metal looking roof. And so I ended up not even palette knifing any of this part of the painting. I'm gonna pop my head in here. Oh, it's so big. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate. I hope you like this painting. Oh, you know what I want to mention? The focal point. So a good way to know, if I didn't mention this in the first part of the video, a good way to know the focal point is to pick. So divide your painting up into thirds. Oh, that might have been a little low. And then, so my focal point's definitely right here. I've got a white, and a dark. It also could kind of be here, but at least my eye, it bounces between those. You know, you kind of go like this in the painting. But a good place to put your focal point is on one of those thirds. Okay, I started to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this painting and the title. Please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I really appreciate that. I'm almost up to 200 subscribers. I can't believe it. You guys are amazing. I love all my Facebook friends. I look forward to chatting with all of you. And I also hang out sometimes on Instagram. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye, guys.